FM 88.5, just for you.
From Royal Communications Incorporated, good evening and welcome to King's Newsroom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Today is Friday, August 29, 2025, and I'm Shema Dia presenting. In the headlines, National Elections Commission headquarters face possible perpetual closure as Touch Print Incorporated lead lawyer Councillor Arthur Johnson requests Commercial Code of Liberia to freeze the bank accounts of NEC due to failure to pay US over 171,000 debt. University of Liberia Faculty Association launches Go Slow campaign days after UL administration released academic calendar. Oversight unresolved and unmet demands from the university's administration. In also the news tonight, United Nations Development Program and the University of Liberia signed standard letter of agreement introduce a master's degree program in artificial intelligence at the University of Liberia. Away from home, at least 69 people have died and many more are missing after a boat capsized off the coast of Mauritania. Coast guides in the northwest African country have said. This plus a news bulletin, voices of those making the news at our package. We'll take a short break to be right back. Welcome back at this juncture with John Stephen Compton with the news bulletin.
Touch Media Print Incorporated lawyer Councillor Arthur Johnson has requested the Commercial Code of Liberia to freeze the bank account of the National Elections Commission due to the electoral body failure to pay a debt of over US 171,000 owed the company. Councillor Johnson, as a legal representative of Touch Print, told the court that the National Elections Commission, under the leadership of Madam Davis Etta Brown Lassanon as chairperson, has refused to pay the money owed despite a final judgment and a raid ordering the commission to do so. He prayed the court to allow the sheriff to withdraw the money directly from NEC's account, including its salary account and even mobile money account, until the debt is completely paid. The court of approval of this action could delay the payment of salaries to NEC workers. The dispute comes from services provided by Touch Print, which the company says were never paid for, and court records show that the NEC was declared debtor after losing the case. Meanwhile, Sosi, the Ministry of Finance, says NEC chairperson David Etta Brown Lassanon earlier returned over US $4 million in unsued funds to the Liberia Revenue Authority, even though the commission still had outstanding debts. The University of Liberia Faculty Association has launched a Go Slow campaign just a day after the university administration released the academic calendar for the upcoming semester. In a recent communication, the UL administration informed students and faculty that the 2025 academic year will officially begin on Monday, September 1, across all campuses nationwide. However, in response to the university's communication offered through a release Monday, withdrawn from all academic activities, citing unresolved and unmet demands from the university administration. The faculty, in its release, highlighted series of grievances, including poor sanitary condition, long-standing salary disparities, and the lack of social security benefit for faculty members, among other concerns. The faculty's decision has since sparked widespread concern among students of the University of Liberia. In an interview with King's Evan, many students voiced their frustration and called on the university's administration to intervene immediately. They stressed that a go-slow action could cause significant delays in their academic progress and potentially impact their future. The students are at the same time empatized with members of the faculty, adding that the university alleged action could have serious institutional consequences on the university. And still at the University of Liberia, the United Nations Development Programme and the University of Liberia signed a standard letter of agreement, marking the beginning of a transformative partnership to advance innovation, technology, and strategic development in Liberia. The collaboration, according to a release issued by UNDP Friday, will introduce a master's degree program in artificial intelligence designed to equip students of UL with cutting-edge digital skills. According to UNDP, the partnership will establish an innovation center at UL's Fenner campus, expanding on the successful Unipop initiative to create a vibrant hub for creativity and technological advancement. It added that as part of the initiative, the 2025 Holiday Tech Camp will be launched to inspire and empower the next generation of tech leaders and also sustain momentum and burdened impact of Liberian students. Meanwhile, the two institutions have agreed to a 5-year strategic plan and a comprehensive capacity enhancement in assessment to develop and strengthen UL's faculty and students' body in research, policy analysis, and innovation. The Liberia Alcohol Policy Alliance has launched a new initiative aimed at strengthening alcohol policy and improving public health responses across the country. In an interview Friday, Asa Ali, a representative of Liberia Alcohol Policy Alliance, highlighted the negative impact of alcohol on the Liberian populace. According to Ali, alcohol consumption has been a major contributing factor to road accident, domestic violence, and health complications. Ali also stressed that feminists spend significant amount of money on alcohol, further deepening social and economic challenges. He added that the role of the Liberia Alcohol Policy Alliance is to partner and support the government in putting effective measures in place on excessive alcohol usage and danger. He further disclosed that the Liberia Alcohol Alliance policy 2 week outreach program was successful in engaging civil society organizations and non-governmental organizations. Ali, at the same time, noted that during the exercise, participants were introduced to global best practices and innovation, the innovative strategy other countries have adapted to reduce alcohol-related harms. The National Fishery and Aquaculture Authority, through its Liberia Sustainable Management Project, has kicked off a week-long the aquaculture training in Ganta-Nima County. The training is aimed at boosting food security and strengthening rural livelihood and is held under the theme Strengthening Aquaculture for Food Security in Rural Liberia. Giving an overview of the initiative, the Director of Aquaculture and Inland Fishery at NAFA, Zeze Badet, explained that the training is a continuation of effort to build the capacity of local farmers and technicians. He He recounted that in June 2024, NAFA trained over 20 farmers and 15 technicians from 3 counties who he said later began master trainers tasks with monitoring other farmers. Bade said 3 of the 6 days training will be held in the classroom, while the rest of the days will be used to enhance or carry out on-hand training, among other things. According to him, the training will afford participants the opportunity to understand fish biology, nutrition, water quality management, and pond construction. The director of aquaculture and inland fishery at NAFAD further that the goal of the initiative is to decentralize the entity's services across the country. Bond County District 7 representative Foley Formula is demanding China Union Concession Company to adhere to its corporate social responsibilities agreed upon in 2019. Speaking to reporters recently, Representative Foley admitted, promising residents of his district that he would push for accountability and better management of natural resource upon election, adding that he remains committed to his promise. The Bond County District 7 lawmaker, who also serves as chair on the House's Committee on Investment, Concession, and Compliance, said he will ensure the correction of what he called years of neglect by concession companies, especially China Union. He emphasized his determination for accountability and better management of natural resources as a means of delivering on his promises and enabling residents benefit from resources being mined from their areas. The Press Union of Liberia has officially dedicated its new head office on 9th Street Single after nearly 24 years being hosted on Clay Street in Monrovia. During the colorful delegation of the new head office, several Liberian journalists, a member of government officials, and civil society actors were seen in attendance. Speaking at the dedication ceremony, PUL President Julia Kanumba told members of the press union and invited guests that his leadership is prepared to embark on the construction of the union's national headquarters. According to him, building a headquarters will enhance the union's institutional integrity and infrastructure upgrade. Julius also rallied supporters of PUL members for the construction of a national headquarters, adding that the union has since secured a land on 12th Street Single on which the headquarters will be built. The President of Liberia president at the same time appreciated Asilameta Liberia and the Liberia National Police for what he called AML and LMP substantial support towards the union acquiring a new head office. Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency officer identified as Lawrence Gay has alleged death threat from his boss, Deputy Director for Operation, following leaked audio. In an interview with King's FM, Officer Gay, a FEA officer at the LDEA, claimed that he and his family lives are on a thread following the release of an explosive audio recording involving himself and the Deputy Director for Operation at the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. Gay alleged that his boss, angered by the public release of the audio, has been retaliating by sharing his personal contact information with unknown individuals who accorded him with threats to kill him and harm his family. According to Gay, the dispute began after he and his team arrested the deputy director's daughter with illegal drug. He claimed that his senior called him directly and instructed him to release the suspended and denied the authenticity of the audio that captured the conversation. As there were more developments, Chief Justice Yami Gbese Thursday launched the long anticipated verification and credential audit for judges, magistrates, and judicial staff at the Temple of Justice. In remarks at the launch, Chief Justice Yami Gbese described the verification and credential audit as a bold step towards restoring the tarnished image of the Liberia judiciary. According to the Chief Justice, the credential audit will be a comprehensive review of the academic, professional, and ethical qualification of all judicial personnel from magistrate to administrative staff. He added that the process is aimed at his commitment towards reform at the judiciary, especially in transparency and accountability. Chief Justice Yamin Wazid encouraged judicial personnel to see the audit as an opportunity rather than a threat. The move within legal cycle, the judiciary verification and credential audit is in collaboration with the civil servant agency and expected to carry out through the country. And the Environmental Protection Agency of Liberia, in partnership with the UNDP and JEV, has launched a two-day training workshop in Greenville, Sino County. The training is aimed at strengthening the resilience of vulnerable coastal communities. Participants of the training come from Sino, Maryland, and Grand Crew County, as well as Maryland County area considered as increasingly affected by sea level erosion and biodiversity loss. Activities of the two-day led by Justin Akali, an international training consultant, will cover climate change theory, biodiversity impact, coastal resource mapping, among other things. Other facilitators are engaging participants on integrated coastal zone management, including inclusive planning and social economic issues affecting women, children, and persons with disability. The news bulletin is back to you, dear Shaban, for the continuation of the news program.
In contact with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature on King's Newsroom. One of the stories we're following tonight: National Elections Commission headquarters face possible perpetual closure as Thugsprint Incorporated lead lawyer considered Arthur Johnson requests Commercial Code of Liberia to freeze the bank accounts of NEC for failure to pay over US 101,000 debt. We take a break to be right back with voices of the newsmakers. Welcome back and thanks for being there. The University of Liberia Faculty Association has launched a Go Slow campaign days after the university administration released the academic calendar for the upcoming semester. In a recent communication, the UL administration informed students and faculty that the 2025 academic year will officially begin on Monday, September 1, across all campuses. However, in response to the university's communication offer through a release, withdrawn from all academic activities, citing unresolved and unmet demands from the university administration. Meanwhile, in an interview with King's FM Mini, Students from the University of Liberia voiced their frustration and called on the university administration to intervene immediately.
Jacob, today the Faculty Association came up with or released disassociating herself from all academic activity at the University of Liberia there. So as a student of the university, hoping that school could open next week, what do you make of the faculty's decision?
Oh, I get. Let me first of all say thank you for this opportunity. Now, hearing this kind of a news have really brought a whole lot of sad feelings to me because, like for me, I've got through paying my fees, my registration, I planned my courses, only hoping that Monday, by God's grace, that I start school. But hearing such news from the faculty association about them distancing themselves from every academic activity is actually a setback for we the students at the University of Liberia. And if this can be worked on or put into place or meeting their demands by the administration, I'm so afraid that we the students we might actually find it very, very difficult for this our semester that is about to open anytime sooner.
Voice of one of the students of the University of Liberia there expressing dissatisfaction over offered recent withdrawal from all academic activities, urging the UAL administration to work and address demands proffered by the Faculty Association. Bon County District 7 representative for the Famole is demanding China Union Concession Company to adhere to its corporate social responsibilities as agreed in 2009. Speaking to reporters recently, Representative Foley admitted promising residents of his district that he will push for accountability and better management of natural resources upon the election, and that he remains committed to that.
On the floor of plenary.
Well, a few minutes ago on the floor in plenary, we brought to the attentions of the Liberian people the gross violations of China Union when it comes to the NDA. We believe the NDA is a law, and as such, every party needs to live up to the terms and recommendations of such document. As I speak to you, there is a current peaceful sit-in by workers of the concessions in terms of their rights being violated by labor practices by the Chinese company. And we're trying to be able to put in place measures that will help to curtail some of these things. So we have written plenary to see reason to be able to investigate China Union as to their implementations of the NDA, as to how far they gone. We are aware they have violated the NDA. We are aware they have not done the road from Kakata to Hendy. We are aware they have not been able to employ a single Liberian in their senior managerial positions. We are aware that most of our Liberian brothers are placed on contractor level. We are aware that most of the contracting firm in the concessions are Chinese owned. So there are a lot of issues that we believe this investigation will on ICE, and it will serve as a basis of how our issues of advocating against China Union bar labor practice and their violations of the concession has that been something that I've started now. Even proud to us being elected, I've been jailed and sued by Liberian government when it comes to the issues of advocating against bar labor practice within the concession. So it's something that we have started years back. The only difference now is that I'm sitting in the seat where you have the authority to be able to get your information to plenary, because past leaders have not been much interested in ensuring that this document can be reviewed. So within the document, it is specified that within every 5 years, the concessionaire should and the parties should be able to sit and review this document. As I speak to you,
Bon County District 7 representative for the Family. The Liberia Alcohol Policy Alliance has launched a new initiative aimed at strengthening alcohol policies and improving public health responses across the country. In an interview Friday, Asa Ali, a representative of Liberia Alcohol Policy Alliance, highlighted the negative impact of alcohol on the Liberian populace. According to Ali, alcohol consumption has been a major contributor to road accidents, domestic violence, and health complications such as lung disease.
especially to improve the public health of the people living in Liberia. Yes, as we know, a few years ago in Botswana, our health ministers at the regional committee meeting adopted the African framework to implement the Global Alcohol Action Plan. And as we know, alcohol has been impacting negatively on, living standard of our populations, especially, our various countries are recording a high number of road accidents related to alcohol, and also the issue of liver diseases is there, the issue of domestic violence, household expenditures being spent on alcohol. All these have actually necessitated the need for our government to get up. So as civil society, as you know, our role is to partner and support our various governments to implement the provisions of the Global Alcohol Action Plan. So purely that is what we intended doing. So I would say the 2 weeks visit has been fruitful because we spent the first week to build the capacity of civil society organizations where we introduce NGOs on global best practices, especially some of the good things that other countries have been doing, especially in the areas of banning, promotion, and advertisement. It's one area that we're able to take our civil society on. And also the aspect of the age, the age limitation and those who can buy and also consume alcohol. It's one area that also dealt with our civil society. And also another aspect has to do with the comprehensive implementation of the Liberian National Alcohol Policy, where we've taken our colleagues in there. We also share experiences, especially on the age. We know there are countries that are doing 19, we know countries that are doing 21, and also other countries that are doing more. So we have realized that yes, the higher the age, the better for our populations, because according to WHO, that's the World Health Organization, those young people between the ages of 15 to 19 should not even initiate the habit of drink, because as at that time they are.
Asa Ali, a representative of Alcohol Alliance. A reminder you're listening to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, in our one word. Stories will follow in tonight. National Elections Commission headquarters face possible perpetual closure as M-Touch Print Incorporated lead lawyer, Councillor Arthur Johnson, requests Commercial Court of Liberia to freeze the bank accounts of NEC for failure to pay over US $101,000 debt. University of Liberia Faculty Association launches Go Slow days after UAD administration released academic calendar oversight unresolved and unmet demands from the university's administration. United Nations Development Program and the University of Liberia signs standard letter of agreement intended to introduce master's degree program in artificial intelligence at the state-run university. Away from home, at least 69 people have died and many more are missing after a boat capsized off the coast of Mauritania. Coast guides in the Northwest African country have said. We'll take a break to continue with more voices. Welcome back and thanks for being there. The President of Liberia has officially dedicated its new head office on 9th Street, Senko, after nearly 24 years being hosted on Clay Street in Monrovia. During the colorful dedication of the new head office, several Liberian journalists, a number of government officials, and civil society authors were in attendance. Speaking at the dedication, PUL President Julius Kanuba told members of the press union and invited guests that his leadership is prepared to embark on the construction of the union national headquarters.
So on today, one of the major purposes of this occasion is not only to dedicate our new head office, but it is also to announce to the membership that we are ready to construct our headquarters. We are ready with our business plan speech together. We can build our own headquarters. Yes, we can. The Stanton P. Rollins Media House. So this is a simple idea we have, drawing on the work of the previous leaderships. We know the history of the PBL construction. We know what happened. Just recently, when I met Minister Pia and was discussing with him about some issues towards the construction, he said, "What happened to that?" I'm not quite you, right? But he said, "What happened to the 100,000?" Right? It is on us. Just before coming, I was reading an article on Mr. Frank Simola. Frank was asking us about accountability of the 100,000 to bring back the integrity of the union. We know all of the stories, the debates. Our administration, we believe collectively as a union, the task is upon us to build our new headquarters. We must start by generating resources before going outside. To this end, we've worked with the former leaderships of our union. We have different categories of contributions that all of us will have to make. For example, individual contribution. The diamond donors, right? Some of us here will let diamond, and when you check at this way, you get gold ring or diamond, something, right? For instance, you can contribute 1,000 United States dollars or above. And the idea is to have a plaque, right? Where when you contribute 1,000, all of you who contributed 1,000, the names will be on that particular.
President of Liberia, President Julius Kanamba, the speaker during the dedication ceremony of the union's new head office on 9th Street, Cinco, on Thursday. Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency officer identified as Lawrence Gay has alleged death threats from his boss, Deputy Director for Operations, following a leaked audio. In an interview with King's FM, Officer Gay, a field officer at the LDA, claimed he and his family lives are under threat following the release of an explosive audio recording involving himself and the Deputy Director for Operation. Gay alleges that his boss, angered by the public release of the audio, has been retaliating by sharing his personal contact information with unknown individuals who are now calling him with threats to kill him and his family.
Well, I told you, I'm not called tonight. They said, people are going to my home, they're asking for me in the community. Well, they still asking for you in the community? Yeah, people are me, they say, just when the community, they're not asking for me. So you say your family are now home, you say you're not home? Yeah, my family now home, my wife, my children, I told me from the work. You know my brother, yeah. And people still calling you, people going to your house asking whether you're there. Yeah, I will only answer my brother started calling me. So he said, oh man, you are asking for you. You're not getting all the time. But I will call your I'm asking you whether you are called Anthony Saw about what happening to you in the incident. The person I call you I told him good morning. So he said, I'm still there to go to the office, then they will see what to do. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow now, I won't take the airway first before going to the office. But I hope you save where you are, you save because your life matters. Yeah, I lead the entire community. So where's the daughter? I think that man, he took the gas from us. Take a daughter from us. I say, there is a joke for the embarrassing part that when they make it and they disrobe me, took my uniform, took my boots. The money I had on me, I told them that later on I started forcing law. I had a brother in the community, but I said, no, but look at read other people in the children because I read how you disgracing the man, but when I allow the car will not go. The high put me down. Putting me down now, my money level is down. I said, no, but I need my money to go in the Wednesday, I'm going to get me money. And then give me 2,000 about other 13,000. So I started raising attention, but I'm not commander was afraid to forget it, then he go. I had that then. Now he called me. Yesterday he called me my other number. Oh my man, I beg you, know what you do for me. And when you go by our air and we bought the statement said that you myself were talking. If you do that, I got something for you. So I told him, but nobody can be. So I discussed with my other friends said, no, don't do it, you do it, taking rid of yourself. So from yesterday now, don't call him again, answer his call. Yeah, because he first of all denied that particular recording that is an AR recording. He can't remember talking with you on issues about his daughter. In fact, people are doing it to get rid of him from the LDA. The police are undermining him. That's why he said. How you say on the radio? After the man said, my brother, he said, drove the car to the office. The Kevin said, drove the car to the office. And he wanted, I think, it became 2 hours in the car.
Lawrence Gay is the field officer at the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency there in conversation with King 7 reporter Benjamin Johnson. Chief Justice Yami Kwekwe Thursday launched the long anticipated verification and credential audit for judges, magistrates, and judicial staffers at the Temple of Justice. In remarks at the launch, Chief Justice Wesse described the verification and credential audit as a bold step toward restoring the tarnished image of Liberia's judiciary.
In confidence with our vision to reform the judiciary, we begin embark on the crucial initiative to improve the integrity and accuracy of our personnel and their credentials. This audit and verification further will help us maintain the highest standard of excellence and accountability. The judicial branch of government is an integrity institution. So, we release the perception of corruption within the judiciary. We must do so certain and ensure that our credentials align with our respective assignments for the efficiency and maximum productivity of the judiciary. Let us together make sure this process is successful. With all of us to please cooperate. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Director General himself, who magnanimously agreed to perform this with pro. Government does not provide money for that, but they agreed to do it for us pro bono without us.
Chief Justice of Liberia, Yami Kwekwe, they're speaking. The Environmental Protection Agency of Liberia, in partnership with the UNDP and GEF, is conducting a 2-day training workshop in Greenville, Sando County. The training is aimed at strengthening the resilience of vulnerable coastal communities. Participants of the training come from Sando, Maryland, Greenville, and Rosas counties. Activities of the 2-day led by Dr. Austin Akakali, an international training consultant, will cover climate change theory, diversity or biodiversity impacts, coastal resource mapping, and conflict prevention.
I'm Professor Justin Akankali. I'm a professor of environmental studies and climate change. And by virtue of the program we're running here today, I'm the lead facilitator for the training of the focal points and the working group for environmental resilience for vulnerable coastal communities in the 9 coastal counties of Liberia, for which we are here in Greenville to train this group of persons for the southeastern states, which include Riverside County, Sino County, Maryland County, and Grand Creek County. The first thing is that there is this challenge, is a global one, for which Liberia is not insulated, being a country with a vast coastline and vast coastal resources and communities. The impact of climate change is actually affecting all the coastal counties in Liberia, affecting the infrastructure, affecting the biodiversity. Awareness is created and they are empowered with the requisite knowledge to be able to, live through climate change impact, reduces its consequences, and as much as
Dr. Justin Akankali, an international training consultant. Away from home, at least 69 people have died and many more are missing after a boat capsized off the coast of Mauritania. Coast guides in the northwest African country have said 17 people have been rescued and in search And the search is continuing for other passengers who were on board the dock-out canoe that was heading towards Payne's Canary Islands. According to survivors, the boat left the Gambia 6 days before Tuesday's accident, carrying around 160 people on board, mainly Gambian and Senegalese nationals. The perilous journey over the Atlantic Ocean has become an increasingly common route for African migrants trying to reach Europe. Nearly 47,000 people reached the Canary Islands last year, and the Spanish non-government organization estimate more than 9,000 migrants have died. Well, on that note, that's how we come to the end of this edition of King's Newsroom. But before we leave, a quick reminder of stories we followed in the headlines. National Elections Commission headquarters face possible perpetual closure as M-Touch Print Incorporated lead lawyer Councilor Arthur Johnson requests Commercial Court of Liberia to freeze the bank accounts of NEC for failure to pay over US 101,000 debt. University of Liberia Faculty Association launches Go Slow dates after UEL administration released academic calendar. Offer cites unresolved and unmet demands from the university's administration. He also heard in the news United Nations Development Program and the University of Liberia signed standard letter of agreement intended to introduce master's degree program in artificial intelligence at the state-run university. Away from home, at least 69 people have died and many more are missing after a boat capsized off the coast of Mauritania. Coast guides in the northwest African country have said. Many thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who help in making this edition of King's Newsroom a success. Stevie Compton brought you the news bulletin. Marvin Va sat at control and handled the technical aspect of this edition. On behalf of the team, I'm Shema Dale. I presented. Thanks for listening and watching.